Please welcome Thelma Golden, Ford Foundation Director and Chief Curator for the Studio Museum in Harlem.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, when we had the cornerstone ceremony some years ago across the way on the State Office Building Plaza early one October morning, it was pouring torrential rain. It was windy, the tent was blowing all over, and our beloved late trustee Nancy Lane came up to me and said, "It's a beautiful day today." And that's how I feel today. I thought about Nancy saying, "It is a beautiful day today." Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for what is truly a historic day for the new Studio Museum in Harlem. I would like to express on behalf of myself, the incredible Studio Museum Board of Trustees, the amazing Studio Museum staff, our absolute deepest gratitude to the City of New York and the State of New York, our generous campaign donors, our architects, our beloved community of Harlem, and generations of brave and inspired Black artists. To all of the members of our Board of Trustees, past and present, thank you. Your support over these years, your belief, your generosity, your leadership, and your vision is the reason we are here. This stunning building was made possible by our architectural teams, Adjei Associates and Cooper Robertson. Yes. And Siami Construction, and Zubatkin Owner Representation. The landscaping on our beautiful rooftop terrace was designed by Studio Zwetty. Thank you all. We're really happy to have today with us several of our elected officials. New York State Assembly member Jordan J.G. Wright of the 70th Assembly District. Councilman Yusef Salaam, District 9, here in Harlem. Deputy Manhattan Borough President Keisha Sutton James. The Honorable Marquise A. Harrison, Chair of Community Board 10. And the Commissioner of the Department of Cultural Affairs for New York City, Lori Cumbo. I also want to say we have two, well really three, but two past commissioners who made this project possible, Kate Levin and Tom Finkelpearl. Kate and Tom are here. I'm so pleased that we are going to begin our celebration with an invocation by the Reverend Michael A. Waldron Jr., known to most of us as Reverend Mike, senior pastor at First Corinthian Baptist Church here in Harlem, followed by a reading of the museum's land acknowledgement by Natasha Logan, the chief program officer here at the Studio Museum, and then a selection by soprano Angela Brown.
Good morning. Good. Let us bow our heads in a word of prayer this morning. Eternal and ever creative God, we gather today with grateful hearts, standing in awe of what you have made possible. Thank you for this historic moment, O God, the opening of a renewed Studio Museum here in Harlem, a space born of vision, persistence, and profound love for Black art and Black life. God, we honor every ancestor whose imagination cleared the path, every artist whose courage illuminated the journey, and every leader, donor, and worker who helped bring this dream into reality. This building, oh God, is more than walls and windows. It is a living sanctuary of truth, creativity, and possibility. So God, bless this space, oh God. May every gallery invite deeper understanding. May every piece of art remind us of our resilience, our brilliance, and the sacred beauty that flows from Black imagination, oh God. Let this museum continue to be a beacon, a place where the world encounters the depth, dignity, and divinity of our stories. We pray for the artists who will create here. Let them feel supported, inspired, and free. We pray, oh God, for the children who will enter with wide eyes and open hearts. Strengthen the leadership of this institution, oh God. Grant them courage, clarity, and creativity as they steward this museum into its next chapter. And God, guide this community, Harlem, that it may continue to shine as a home of innovation, pride, and profound cultural contribution. And finally, oh God, as we officially open this building, open us to the beauty that challenges. Open us, oh God, to the stories that restore. And open us, oh God, to the art that leads us closer to justice, joy, and another season of transformation, transcendence that only you can grant. We honor you, God. We love you, Lord. And it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Good morning. What a beautiful day. Before we get into it, let's acknowledge the things that come before us. So we enthusiastically acknowledge that the land we gather on in Harlem sits within Lenapehoking, homeland of the Munsee Lenape, and that this neighborhood has been shaped by enduring legacies of migrations and displacements. We honor these people, their descendants, and these histories as part of our responsibility to this place. Beneath us, this building, the streets of the 125th Street corridor runs a river. Water holds memory, and we too remember and recognize the legacies of the Black, brown, and indigenous peoples whose presence, labor, and creativity have made our paths possible. With enduring gratitude, we say Amen, Ashe, Gracias, Wanishi. We commit ourselves to making good use of the time and space we share today and to building supports for those who will come after us. Thank you.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Little rejoicing, rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march
Thank you for all of that. Please join me now in welcoming our next group of speakers. The incomparable Chairman of the Board of the Studio Museum in Harlem, Raymond J. McGuire. Hope Knight, President and CEO and Commissioner at Empire State Development. Erica Mallon, Executive Director of the New York State Council on the Arts. And Lori Cumbo, Commissioner of the Department of Cultural Affairs, New York City. Raymond, please come to the stage.
Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Thank you, Angela Brown. Thank you, James Weldon Johnson. A few years after Johnson gave this hallowed anthem in the midst of the Harlem Renaissance, Langston Hughes, influenced no doubt by Johnson's lyric, told us, he said, "Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams. If dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow." So to each of you present here, thank you. We held fast. Your support of this great institution has made it all possible. If there has ever been a time when your voice is needed, it is now. The writer told us long ago that perhaps others could meet the task equally as well, but now it is our time. Standing on the shoulders of the courageous and visionary artists, founders, and community leaders who led in the midst of an environment not dissimilar to this one, we listened to the sage who said, "If not now, when? If not us, who?" When many questioned whether we would ever achieve our goals, many others stepped up. For a museum that is a proud member of New York Cultural Institutions Group, let me express gratitude to our partners in government. Over these past years, the campaign received major support from the City of New York through the Office of the Mayor, the Department of Cultural Affairs, the New York City Council, the Office of the Manhattan Borough President, and the State of New York. I especially thank the leaders who are with us today from Empire State Development, New York State Council on the Arts, and the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs. In addition to this generous support of our campaign, we are deeply grateful to have received official proclamations from the Office of the Manhattan Borough President and the State of New York. Please. In what reflects their commitment and resoluteness, the private sector contributed with somewhat unprecedented generosity, led by our extraordinary board of trustees, committed foundations, family offices, artists, and individual museum and community supporters to those who doubted. And while we are still raising, and as you know by now, we have met and exceeded our $300 million goal. And as for me, one of the great privileges on this journey has been being the chairman of the Board of Trustees for the past 23 years, walking alongside our indefatigable leader, the first ever Ford Foundation Director, Chief Curator, Thelma Golan. in her 25th year at the Studio Museum in Harlem. In partnering with her and our extraordinary board, we've reached this milestone. And make no mistake, this new chapter was not inevitable. It was earned. Earned through decades of vision, stewardship, and belief. It is no secret that the environment has changed since we started on this journey. Much feels unsettled or tenuous. The economic uncertainties are being felt locally and throughout the region. Civic life is in transition. Major projects have precarious futures. New technologies are changing the way we think and work. When polarization, weaponization, divisiveness, and the isms live without boundaries, the Studio Museum has risen above the fray. It has demonstrated that notwithstanding the challenges, that it has the courage to stand. And maybe we just heard the artist when he challenged us, you only got one shot to not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime, so we took our shot. We seized the moment to bear witness to history in motion. This moment feels like what it must have felt like when it all began. As we look around today, we can see that the Studio Museum has fulfilled the very highest dreams of those founders, and in many ways surpassed them. The preview to the press has been an exciting, inspiring, and humbling experience. The responses from the most respected and demanding critics have been uniformly and overwhelmingly positive across the cultural, civic, public, and private landscapes. As they were inspired by the powerful architecture, they were equally inspired by the exhibitions, including Tom Lloyd. As one renowned critic wrote, "The vista had shown me stirring and beautiful things. It had opened vistas on rich histories. It also left me hoping that this museum will continue to do in the future what it has so often done in the past. Trip me up thinking about the art in the world again and again. Change me." And so let me end where I began, with grace and gratitude. And before I yield the mic to Madam Hope Knight, let me leave you with a few lines with the help of Langston AI. Harlem rises proud and bright, dressed in gold of morning light. Neighbors gather side by side. Today the doors swing open wide. 7 years of waiting long, still we kept our faith and song. Brush and drum and rooftop shout, art kept finding its way out. Now this home of glass and stone speaks a truth we've always known. Black art's heartbeat, fierce and true, builds tomorrow shining through. Critics praise the drawing, the daring lines, stares at curve like jazz designs. Call it Harlem's gift restored, a dream this city long adored. On this stoop our stories climb, stacked like verses keeping time. Every floor a living hymn, every wall a vibrant limb. Cut the ribbon, let it fall. Let this house embrace us all. Let the future step in strong, adding stanzas to our song. From Ringo quilts to Basquiat's crown, from whispered blues to beats downtown, every echo, every spark finds a home within this arc. Tom Lloyd's lights like cosmic fire hum with Harlem's old desire. Circuits blooming bright with grace, past and future face to face. So cut the ribbon, raise the cheers, honor all that sculpted years. This museum's doors now open wide. Walk in with joy, walk in with pride. For every child who stands in awe, seeing colors they never saw, a new horizon clears its view, a place that says, this shines for you. And so we bless this brilliant start, a harbor built of Harlem heart, the studio's home at last at best, where Black art gathers, learns, and rests. Let this ribbon, once uncut, mark the door we won't shut, a living promise, bold and new, Harlem rising, me and you. Madam Hope Knight.
Thank you, Ray, and good morning, everyone. It's great to be in Harlem today. So congratulations to Ray McGuire, Thelma Golden, and the entire museum staff and board of trustees. This is a monumental accomplishment, and your vision, diligence, and persistence is reflected in this magnificent facility. Community and economic development are team sports, and we're proud to work with our state and city partners, the New York State Council on the Arts, and the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs. I want to give special thanks to Executive Director Erica Mallon from NYSCA and Commissioner Lori Cumbo from DCLA for your partnership. So this is an exciting milestone for Harlem. I spent a dozen years at the Upper Manhattan Empowerment Zone and worked with the team at the museum on several initiatives, so it is very special to come back and celebrate with you on this occasion. I remember when this new building was still a dream, and it's amazing to see this dream become a reality. Earlier this week, we celebrated the completion of the National Urban League's Empowerment Center down the street. And last year, we celebrated the reopening of the transformed Victoria Theater a block west from here. To have these community anchors in such proximity only builds upon Harlem's status as a cultural mecca. And under Governor Hochul's leadership, the state is committed to investing in places that connect connectivity and community. And the museum does exactly that. So many of the details in the design here reflect the people and the energy of Harlem. It makes this so much more than a museum. This is a place that celebrates the culture and the history of this community. It embraces artistic diversity, lifts up emerging artists' voices, and provides a platform to amplify new voices. This project also complements our efforts to reach visitors far and near. 2 years ago, Governor Hochul launched the I Love New York Black Travel Initiative. It is designed to extend a special invitation to Black travelers by showcasing the state's unparalleled Black history, culture, and entertainment. Attractions like the Studio Museum will help us share New York's story and highlight the unique experiences in places like Harlem. So in closing, I'm proud to be here today to celebrate with you, proud to be among the museum's many supporters. It's incredible to see the new growth, new ideas, and new energy happening here in Harlem. Projects like this are helping to write the next great chapter in this storied community's history, and we're doing this by working together. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Erica Mallon. I'm Executive Director of the New York State Council on the Arts. Thank you, Hope, for being such a great colleague in the state. And of course, Lori Cumbo, comrade in arms here in the city. Thank you. I think Lori doesn't know the word no. So thank you. I also want to say a sort of shout out also to Kate Levin, who I know is an incredible advocate, as you all know, is an incredible advocate of the arts, as well as Darren Walker, who is here today. So I want to acknowledge them. This is a very historic moment. The New York State Council of the Arts, we're 65 years old today. And our first grant to the to the Studio Museum of Harlem was in 1972. So for over 50 years, we have been supporting this institution. And now, with this stunning home here in Harlem, the Studio Museum will be able to continue to do what it has done so well, which is this incredible legacy and work to champion the creativity and innovation and serve this incredible community and around the world with new artists, next generation artists, constantly seeding the work that becomes iconic and becomes life-changing. And I also want to just take a moment to thank the elected officials, the board president, Raven, and other board members, anyone who gave $1 to this organization, because right now we are in very terrible times in supporting the arts. States across the nation are defunding their arts organizations, and of course we know about the federal government, but I just want to take a moment to say, listen, we are still here. The state is still here. The city is still here. We have been stalwart funders, and we will continue to be so. And with that, I do want to say that, you know, Governor Hochul and the state legislature have allocated over $160 million, which included a $20 million increase for the first time in a decade towards the arts, because it is our legislature and city officials as well that know this. When we invest in the arts, it's just not an investment in the arts, it's an investment in New York's future. So again, congratulations to Thelma, Raymond, the entire Studio Museum and staff. This is a breathtaking space. It's a space of celebration, of history, and a launch pad for the future. It is people like you, days like today, and projects like this one that will inspire the next 65 years. So we look forward to more decades of innovation to come. But I did want to end, because we went back into the archives, Thelma, and we do site visits, right? We come out, and so I have two little anecdotes. One was in 2004, when we had a program officer come, and this is what she said. I learned from Chief Curator Thelma Golden that the Studio Museum focused on thematic topics inspired by the diversity of art being made, as well as the legacy of African-American artists in general. Freestyle, the spring 2001 program that inaugurated this new approach, included works by 28 emerging Black artists who averaged age 30. Freestyle served to introduce many of these artists to the art community for the first time, and today, the work of two freestyle artists, Layla Ali and Julie Maretu, are represented in the current Whitney Biennial. So that was in 2004. That was over 25 years ago. And I'll end with this. So a year later, in 2005, I visited the Studio Museum, a new program officer. I visited the Studio Museum of Harlem to see their emerging artist show, Frequency. One photographer stood out, Hank Willis. He was featured in both this exhibit and at PS1. So someone to watch. And then there's like pages and pages of her interpretation of Hank's work, but she ends with this, and it happened to be on a Friday afternoon. Energetic show, crowded gallery on a Friday afternoon. So as we move into this next chapter, it's always going to be crowded here, and we're so pleased to support you. It's a privilege to support you. And Thelma, I just also want to just say, without you, this city, you know, thank you for your service is what I actually want to say. Thank you.
Good morning. It is truly a beautiful day filled with so much emotion. All of the best emotions are just being felt and exuded by everyone here. And as Commissioner of the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, I just feel so honored to be here at this very moment with all of you, because I grew up knowing about the Studio Museum in Harlem and it being a space and a place that was so inspirational here in Harlem that I too wanted to create a museum in Brooklyn inspired by what was happening here in Harlem. And I took my graduate thesis and set it into motion in creating the Museum of Contemporary African Diasporan Arts. And at that moment, I met Thelma Golden. And USA and World Report was doing this article on who are the future leaders in the cultural world. And Thelma Golden, of course, was selected to select who she thought was going to be the next cultural leader. And I remember she was 35 years old, and I was 25 years old, and we did a photo shoot. We haven't aged a day. We look exactly the same. We have to recreate that photo. But Thelma selecting me at 25 years of age, when I had just created my museum, just set me on a path of knowing that I could do this. If Thelma Golden selected me, I had all of that courage and a bit of an ego to make that actual dream come true. And Thelma has always been that individual who brings others up with her. She makes sure that all boats rise with her. And I remember that photo, that USA and World report. It came out, we framed it in our home, and it was just something that we always held on to. And today, fast forwarding, 25 years later for me, not Thelma, I am here to announce, as Commissioner of the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, that city funding for this project has reached well over $63 million in capital investment. And this wasn't all just me. Dean Mary Schmidt Campbell, right? Commissioner Kate Levin, Commissioner Tom Finkelpearl, Commissioner Gonzalo Casal, and of course myself. And we were also pleased to work with Thelma and the Studio Museum to announce that in addition to the $63 million in capital, we have been able to increase the annual operating subsidy for the Studio Museum in Harlem by 76%. We wanted to make sure that this institution continues to grow and continues to thrive for generations to come. But the history that is here in this room is certainly not lost on me. And when I think of the individuals and the stories that have brought this institution to this particular place, with this administration, we wanted to make sure that we leveled the playing field to ensure that cultural resources went to every square inch of this city. We wanted to make sure that you could have world-class, state-of-the-art experiences in your own backyard. And I know Dr. Barbara Ann Teer and Arthur Mitchell and so many others, we wanted to make sure that the National Black Theater, that Dance Theater of Harlem, that Apollo, that the Africa Center, Caribbean Cultural Center, Belongo, and many other institutions right here in Harlem were going to thrive because they had done this work for so many generations without adequate tax-paying dollars. And we wanted to make sure that we changed that dynamic and leveled the playing field, because we know on so many levels that when these different institutions open together collectively in the next 5 or 10 years, and we just cut the ribbon yesterday on the Urban League's brand new space, these spaces are going to transform the way we see Black culture, not only in New York City, but globally. And that's why this is so important today. And I wanted to acknowledge so many of the great people that have made this today. Again, Thelma, thank you for your leadership. You have continued to inspire an entire generation. I've followed your career for so long, seeing you at the Whitney Museum, Jamaica Art Center, toiling those fields. And the fields have changed, but at the same time, we have normalized Black excellence everywhere that we have gone. And I remember Thelma initially at the Met Museum and doing that work and bringing forward those revolutionary ideas that have now normalized and created almost a frenzy for the excitement that Black art and culture brings to every space. When I think of individuals like Ray McGuire, toiling those fields, but in a different place. The fields have changed on many levels, toiling those fields at Harvard, getting that MBA, coming forward to corporate America and working at Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, and Citibank, changing those dynamics, but allowing him to be in a place to be the chairman of this board with those incredible opportunities and resources, all of it coming together at the same time to create this moment right here, this monumental moment. And Darren Walker, coming from Louisiana, Head Start program, Pell Grant, going through all of those different systems that you have worked for, Abyssinian, Chief Operating Officer, making sure that you are bringing forward all of those experiences of your childhood and understanding what an opportunity does for so many, coming through that at the Rockefeller Foundation and then Ford, and creating $1 billion social bond in order to stabilize the artistic community during very challenging times of COVID. We thank you for your incredible leadership. And when we see our elected officials, Councilmember Salam, we are so honored to have you normalizing and bringing forward on so many levels the experiences that you've had. To normalize Black excellence in the criminal justice field is an incredible experience. The story of how the Studio Museum came to be, and seeing Assemblymember Wright here taking that incredible, extraordinary historical seat that his father once held to make sure that we continue that great continuity. And my deputy borough president, the Sutton family is so proud. We know what you have done, what your family has done to create this incredible, monumental moment. This is a victory for our community. And this is a victory on so many levels, because at this time in history right now, when we think back to 1968 and the founding, what was happening, it had to take brave individuals to stop and say, you know what we need right now? We need a museum. And fast forward to this moment right now, the same holds true, because we have to build firm institutions and foundations for our people. We can't bend, we can't break. We have to continue on the ancestral legacy that has brought us here today. I want to close by thanking my team, the incredible individuals at the Department of Cultural Affairs who have done so much extraordinary work to usher this project through. I want to thank Andy Burmeister on our Capitol team, Angela Blocker, who was an incredible, extraordinary advocate for this project. I want to thank Victor Metoyer, who is also not able to be here, but he is a passionate supporter of this project. And I want to thank every single one of you, because the beautiful part about this legacy of Black excellence is that in that world of Black excellence, we all win. The liberation and the equality for Black people means that that equality transcends for all people. And that is who the Studio Museum will be for. Thank you all, and it's a blessing to be here.
Thank you all for those incredible remarks. Before we continue, I want to acknowledge Senator Cordell Clear of the 30th Senate District. Cordell, stand up, please. Let everyone see you. Thank you also for being here with us. So we are a proud member of the Cultural Institutions Group and deeply grateful for the city for their support of this institution through our life. And as a proud member, I am pleased now to welcome Bar Filipowicz and Michael Cruz, who are musicians who are going to do a musical selection for us and are here thanks to our newest CIG peer, the Louis Armstrong House in Queens. After our musical selection, I am so grateful that my dear friends and fellow Harlem peers and fellow leaders of Harlem institutions that were also founded in 1968, Sade Lithcott, CEO of the National Black Theater, and Anna Glass, CEO of Dance Theater of Harlem, who will give a salute to Harlem.
Gotta get the bass, large bass. Clap along.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I see skies of blue, clouds of white, them bright blessed days and dark sacred nights. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. See now, the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also in the faces of the people here today. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? But what they're saying is, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Don't it sound so good on bass, y'all? I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, them bright blessed days, them dark sacred nights. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also in the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? But what they're saying is, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Wow, that was incredible. Thank you. Good morning. We've said it over and over again, but this is the new greatest day in Harlem. My name is Sade Lithcott. I have the extreme honor to serve as the Chief Executive Officer of Dr. Barbara Ann Teer's National Black Theater. But today belongs to the Studio Museum. And yet, in so many ways, as you're hearing and feeling in this room, it belongs to all of us, the entire cultural community of Harlem and New York City, but really this village. We celebrate you, we congratulate you, and we salute you.
And I am Anna Glass, and I serve proudly as the Chief Executive Officer of Dance Theater of Harlem. I'm honored to be here to celebrate the Studio Museum in Harlem's new home. With this magnificent new home, you are literally standing tall on 125th Street. But even on this special day, you do not stand alone. Dance Theater of Harlem, National Black Theater, and all the cultural institutions within this community are right here with you.
And so many of us are in the room today. It says everything about the Studio Museum that on this historic day, you have chosen to invite us, your sister institutions, your neighbors of Harlem, your Harlem family, to speak alongside of you. And just to kind of paint the picture of this homecoming, this salute to Harlem is a nod to the great Mary Schmidt Campbell on the dedication of this building in the early 80s, also did a salute to Harlem. In the way that we get to take in Tom Lloyd's art, one of the original artists that opened the Studio Museum in 1968. So this is a true homecoming, and we feel so grateful.
And it says everything about this community, Harlem, that we all feel deeply, deeply rooted in the extraordinary legacy of its people, and we are all dedicating ourselves to its bright future.
So a little bit about us. As a foremother of the Black arts movement, my mother, Dr. Barbara Ann Teer, was a beacon to Harlem. Before she founded the National Black Theater, she was an early colleague of actor, educator, activist Robert Hooks, who they both started the group Theater Workshop, which would eventually evolve with Douglas Turner Ward into the Negro Ensemble Company. But all that was happening downtown, in Chelsea and the West Village. In 1968, just as Studio Museum was being founded, my mother came to Harlem, the epicenter of Black culture, and established the National Black Theater on the very same block and building where Studio Museum had opened its first home, right down the street from here. That same transformational year, my mother declared in the New York Times, quote, "We must begin building cultural centers where we can enjoy being free, being open and Black, where we can find out how talented we really are, where we can be what we were born to be and not what we were brainwashed to be, where we could literally blow your mind with Blackness." She knew this was the place that would make it, Harlem possible. Harlem called us home.
Harlem also called Arthur Mitchell home. Arthur Mitchell, the first Black man to become principal dancer of any major ballet company. With New York City Ballet, Arthur Mitchell made history and inspired generations of artists that would follow. But after the assassination of Dr. King, Mr. Mitchell knew he had to return to the neighborhood where he grew up and give back to the community that had given so much to him, Harlem. In the summer of 1968, Mr. Mitchell gathered his close friends, Cicely Tyson and Brock Peters, to share his dream of creating a dance school and a ballet company. He would start immediately by teaching 30 neighborhood children. By October 1968, 1 month after Studio Museum first opened its doors, Word spread and enrollment grew to 400 students. He would later go on to create a professional ballet company that would revolutionize the dance world. This was the beginning of Dance Theater of Harlem. Harlem was the place where Arthur Mitchell told so many inspiring young people, come front and center. You have the right to stand any place you want to.
Like the Studio Museum, NBT has been sustained by resilience, imagination, and a fierce love of Harlem. All of our institutions, born from the movement and magic of the late 1960s, have faced the inevitable challenges of time and change. Yet here we remain. We're still creating, still becoming. And now on the very block that our story began, we prepare to open our new home, the premier destination of Black theater in America. A building designed by the brilliant Frida Escovedo in collaboration with Handel Architects, a space that honors our past and dares towards a bold, unapologetic future. And we know the path because Studio Museum is blazing it for us. A building first imagined by our founder as an ecosystem where artists could live, create, and serve right here in our own village, backyard, and community. Our current season says it best. We've dedicated this season to an alchemy of return, remembering as a radical act. Because to remember is to reclaim possibility. And today, Harlem reminds the world that we are possible.
Like Studio Museum, like National Black Theater, Dance Theater of Harlem has also faced struggles that many of our colleagues have not had to endure. Yet through dedicated leadership, we are still thriving in our home that Arthur Mitchell built on 152nd Street, and still inspiring the children of our neighborhood, still leading the conversation on racial equity and social justice in ballet. We are looking forward to celebrating our 57th season next April at New York City Center, and we hope we see you all. The centerpiece of our season says it all. After a 20-year absence, we are bringing back our signature ballet, Firebird. Thank you. A thrilling story of transformation, resilience, and beauty. Those are the same words I would use to describe the story since 1968 of the Studio Museum in Harlem.
The very same words that could describe the story of all of our institutions and of this community we love so fiercely. We salute the Studio Museum on this glorious day.
And we join you in saluting our beloved community, Harlem, the village that made all of this possible.
Thank you.
I come before you humble, thankful for this museum.
A vision born in 1968 of power and possibility returns to 125th Street. Where Black artistic expression is championed. Where programs nurture, exhibitions reframe, and the spirit of Harlem is in every detail. a space to connect, create, and exchange. Where Black art reflects, represents, belongs. Welcome back to the Studio Museum in Harlem, where Black art lives.
Thank you. Thank you to all of our speakers. That amazing video you just saw is part of our grand reopening efforts to widely share the breadth and the beauty of where Black art lives. And it'll launch tomorrow along with a citywide campaign featuring works from our beloved permanent collection. While that video so beautifully captures our future, I stand before each of you overwhelmed with emotion as I think about the humble beginnings of this vital institution. What our founders knew, however, was that Black artists were making vital and significant and important work which reflected the power of Black life and pushed beyond the narrow ways that art by artists of African descent was understood. This museum was their way of imagining and therefore creating a future for Black artists in this world, which at that time did not exist. It was not only our founders who were creating a future for us, it was all of those directors of this institution who came before me. Extraordinary leaders, Charles E. Innes, Edward Spriggs, Courtney Callender, Kinshasa Holman Conwell, Dr. Lowry Stokes Sims, and Dr. Mary Schmidt Campbell, who is here with us today. To invoke the words of Dr. Campbell that she spoke at the groundbreaking for this very location in 1981, she said, "All of us are here today to be part of a very special fellowship. We are bonded together by a common goal. Our goal is to make this place one of the finest museums in the country, a museum that will do justice to the rich cultural heritage of Black art. We are bonded together too because getting to this point, getting to the commencement of renovation has been a long and sometimes difficult journey, one that harnessed the energy, effort, and convictions of a lot of people." Mary continued by saying, "I say that to say that our being here this morning has not been easy. It has been much more than a celebration of the commencement of the renovation at that time of 144 125th. It's a celebration of extraordinary belief and faith in our institution and what it stands for, the preservation of Black art in America. We are celebrating the strength of our convictions which have helped us meet the formidable challenge of the new building. And I want to say, Mary, those are the very same words that I want to say today. So thank you for saying that then. We stand on this threshold of a new era. We are moving into the future in the first building designed especially for our needs, our first purpose-built museum in this museum's history. But just as important is it is as a building that enables us to continue to stand proudly on 125th Street with a strong new presence, a presence that proclaims the importance of our mission to our community, to society, and to culture. On the most basic level, we needed to be able to assert, we are here, we are here, we are committed, and we are here. And in that, we are not alone, as you've just heard. This has also been the case for many culturally specific institutions, the National Black Theater, Dance Theater of Harlem, El Museo del Barrio, and many, many more here in New York and throughout the country. And we are proud and grateful to be part of that legacy. I also want to say in this moment that this year we are celebrating the centennial of the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture. And Another of my sister directors is here, Joy Bivens, who has been leading through that celebration. So I am grateful to be part of that legacy. But I also, in this moment, want to express some personal gratitude. I begin to lead this new building, as you all have heard, with a new title. I am the Ford Foundation Director and Chief Curator of the Studio Museum in Harlem. And in this moment, I want to thank Darren Walker for making that possible. That this museum will be proudly led that way in the future. I also want to thank, again, the Board of Trustees of the Studio Museum in Harlem. So you all are sitting in this beautiful, fabulous, gorgeously built building, but you have to remember the way this conversation started was, I think we should knock down the building to build a new building. And it's only a board that has vision, that has faith, that believes in the radical possibility of imagining, that can have that kind of conversation and actually then say, yes, let's do it. So I want to thank that board, and I want to thank them for not just the 25 years that I've been here as Chief Curator and now Ford Foundation Director and Chief Curator, but also for the way in which, many of you know, this museum's been a part of my life since I was 20 years old and an intern here when Dr. Campbell was director. So really, gratitude to board. And deep and profound gratitude goes to the staff of the Studio Museum. Yes, please join me. Some are in this room and around. Many you all do not see, but everything we do and we have done has been made possible by the commitment of this incredible team. And I am so grateful every day that I get a chance to work with such incredible people who believe so deeply in this mission that we have the responsibility of stewarding. So welcome to a museum that was built and born in Harlem, a museum that has always traversed the relationship between the hyperlocal and the superglobal, a museum that has redefined through its values what a museum can be. This astonishing building reflects all that we are and is a gift to the people, ideas, and energy that have emerged from this institution since our founding. We are about to cut the symbolic ribbon for this museum, and while some of us will be up here cutting the ribbon, I want to say it is all of you who are here, the foundations, the electeds, the public and private institutions, the ways in which we have worked on this project with our Harlem peers, the individuals, our members, everyone has been a part of getting us to this moment. So I want to say that cutting this ribbon allows us to say something that I've been wanting to say for a very long time, and that is that the Studio Museum is open and we are back being a home in Harlem for where Black art lives. So I'd like now to join me on the stage our two longest-serving Studio Museum team members, my colleagues, Shanta Lawson, our Senior Director of Learning and Engagement, who's been at the museum for 23 years, and Reynold Raboul, our Senior Security Supervisor, who has been at the Studio Museum for 24 years. And I'd also like to invite Dr. Campbell, Commissioner Cumbo, and the board of the Studio Museum to join me here so we can cut our ribbon. Thank you. Okay, now Commissioner Cumbo, Raymond, board, please stay. We're going to take one more picture. Yeah, just without all the.
Camera crews and photographers are now invited to the stage for a photo opportunity. All other guests, please feel free to join us in the galleries.